Să știți că atunci când am mers să discut cu domnul consul despre acest eveniment și despre ce înseamnă medierea pentru mine și pentru noi, am avut o discuție mai lungă decât m-aș fi așteptat și mult mai deschisă. Și am mers de fapt și am și stat și am și plecat foarte liniștită, mai ales că mi-a promis că va fi în seara asta aici. Și vreau să vă spun că azi dimineață, primul telefon pe care l-am primit a fost din partea domnului consul, care m-a întrebat dacă poate să ne prezinte mai mult decât a promis. Și am spus, da. Mulțumim frumos. Domnul Wouter Reijers.
Înainte să începem, deja este, am nevoie de un mediator. Pentru că prima întrebare este, cine nu înțelege limba engleză? Asta e mai minunat. Păi atunci ai nevoie de un mediator sau cineva lângă tine să ajute, pentru că am niște filme și în limba engleză și pentru că eu să vorbesc despre high-level mediation, dacă vorbesc în limba română, nu s-audă bine. Atunci eu să vorbesc, speech-ul meu să fie în limba engleză și când am terminat, probabil înțelege și mai bine de ce. So, good evening. As you can see, my name is Wouter Reijers. I represent the Kingdom of the Netherlands, or maybe others know it as Holland, which is actually the same. And we believe in mediation. We didn't invent it, but we think that it's one of the most important things, or one of the most important things to do, because it keeps our country healthy and also our economy. One of the things that I am doing here, actually, is mediating. I am the representative of my government in this part of your country. And of course, many times I get Dutch companies with problems, and it can be a problem with an institution or with another, and then we try to mediate. And I have to say that mediation is always the best way, and in 99% of the cases, we are able to solve the problem without going to court. And I know that the judges, because I heard there are a few here, will be very happy because they are anyhow already overloaded with all kind of, I have to use only nice words, but all kind of cases that should not be in court because it has absolutely no use. And it could be easily solved by mediation. In the Netherlands, that is what we do. If you have a court case, in 99% I think you start with mediation, so there is no other way, and only after that it gets really into court. But I said that I'm going to talk about high-level mediation. What do I mean with that? It's actually governmental mediation. So what we do on a high level as a government to mediate. For you to understand this better, I would like to show you a very short movie about the Netherlands, and then later to make the link why mediation is so important for us. So if you can start the movie. that's in a nutshell something about my country. And you see together with the world. But you can put the next slide, it's okay. So why is it so important for us, for the Netherlands, to be a mediator? If you have looked to this movie, you can see what is so important for my country. Trade. Our country lives from trade. And trade can only happen if we live in a stable world. Because if we have war, we cannot make trade. So what for us is very important that if there are any conflicts in the world and where we can help, we will try to do that because we need to have a stable environment to grow. And that's also why the Netherlands is always up front, even if in the United Nations or wherever, if there is tension in the world, we are trying to be there and trying to mediate. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. By doing all this, because we are very active, I am in the diplomatic service and I see what my colleagues are doing behind the screens. They are daily very active to solve problems. You don't always see it, but we are hitting the drums, as we say it. By doing this for such a long time, because we started with mediating, you know that we had the East Indian Company who was doing trade, so it's already for centuries that this is important for us. So we are mediating for many, many years, for hundreds of years. Because of this pounding on the drums and letting everybody know that we want to mediate, we attracted lots of other things on the way. And I also, because movies always work very well, I had also a small movie, which they can start now, about what we attracted by being so active as a mediator. Till we start, I will just give you a little bit of text which actually belongs to the movie. Again, I don't know who put this picture. So, because we were so active in trying to mediate, during the years we have been able to attract lots of institutions in the Netherlands. And the movie that I wanted to show you actually goes about these institutions. One of the institutions is also the International Court of Justice, which is actually one of the few UN organizations out of New York, which was put into the Netherlands. Because by being so active and by hitting so many times the drums, we were able to attract other things. And actually that's where I want to make the link with you as mediators, is that what you can learn from what the Netherlands has done through many, many years, actually hundreds of years, is that if you are very active and you hit the drums, people know you, and then things will come towards you. And when I met you for the first time, I didn't know too much about mediation in Romania. Actually, that is the movie. Let's see if it works, then you have the complete picture.
That will prevail in this endeavor is the truth.
The Netherlands. This European nation that some know as Holland is a leader on peace and justice issues. We promote and defend international law, peace, human rights and freedom, a moral obligation that is enshrined in the Dutch Constitution. The city of The Hague, which many call the legal capital of the world, is home to organizations that make our world safer and more stable. The International Court of Justice, seated at the Peace Palace, is the only principal organ of the United Nations located outside New York. It settles legal disputes between states, delivering judgments that are final and binding. It also provides advisory opinions to the United Nations on important and challenging legal questions. Other institutions located in The Hague, like the International Criminal Court, bring perpetrators of genocide and other egregious crimes to justice.
The Chamber has reached its decision unanimously.
The ICJ, ICC, but also the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, the Permanent Court of Arbitration, the Hague Conference on Private International Law, the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, and so many others, all seated in The Hague. They make a difference by punishing war crimes, by peacefully resolving disputes between states and private parties, eliminating weapons of mass destruction, ensuring cooperation across national borders. All of them play essential roles in stopping violations of our shared values or resolving disputes that disrupt international stability. The Hague is an icon of hope and opportunity in places as diverse as Freetown, Kinshasa, the Balkans and Beirut. The Netherlands supports these institutions that advance our common goals: international peace and justice, human rights, economic growth, opportunity for all. Thanks to Dutch support and commitment, and that of so many others, these protections, these rights, these international organizations will continue safeguarding the world's children, giving voice to the vulnerable, and seeking fairness and justice for all. As it extends its partnerships with countries around the world, The Hague continues to attract new international organizations to Dutch soil. Together, we are establishing justice and accountability, creating a global environment that favors lasting peace and development.
So as you see, trying to be a mediator on this high level has attracted lots of international institutions to our country. And actually there is where I wanted to make the link, as I said before, because you are all mediators, and I don't know too much about you. You are not making yourself visible enough. I have never met any of you, besides Anka, who came to me to introduce yourself, to say what you are doing. You should be present at every international meeting of business clubs here in Cluj. I haven't seen any of you beside you. So, what does this teach you? If you look at all these 100 years that we are trying to promote ourselves, and during the promotion of being a mediator, trying to mediate on a high level, we attracted all these kind of institutions. That should teach you something if you want to be a mediator. It means, in my opinion, there are a few important things. First of all, of course, you have to promote yourself, which you are, in my opinion, not really doing. And another thing is, and that's actually where I have to say that the Netherlands, maybe it's also a critical note, is always with the finger up, thinking that we are the best in the class. Of course, we are not the best in the class, even though maybe we think so. But there are a few things that we are constantly doing, which makes us very popular. So that means that if you maybe would do the same, also you would be more popular. And in my opinion, one of the most important things if you are a mediator is that follow the rule of law. And what do I mean with that? Is that don't try to be as a mediator involved in strange deals. Have a backbone and be straight. So follow always the correct road, because in my opinion that's the only correct and good road. So if you do that, you promote yourself. And you come to visit us, of course, and all the other international clubs, and the city of Cluj is actually very involved in that, so you can even ask them. Even the university, UWB, is very involved in that, so you could also ask them. So we have lots of people here who can help you to get in contact with them. You need to promote yourself. And if you look at what it brought my country by promoting us all the time, I think that if you are doing the same thing, you will promote yourself and you will get into business, because I'm sure you are here for the business and not only for the talks. So good luck for the next 2 days, and I hope to see you once on one of our events. Thank you.
Gala Excelentei Mediere se ține pentru al 4-lea an consecutiv la Cluj. De ce crezi tu că am ales noi Clujul? Pentru tot ce ai spus la sfârșitul discursului tău și pentru care îți mulțumim frumos.